this time of year, for many of us in the Northern Hemisphere, road cycling events can dry up. And that can be really frustrating, because after a summer of riding, this is pretty much when we've got our best form.
Yeah, so rather than waste that form, why not convert your attention to one of the popular off-season disciplines, cyclocross or hill climbs. Coming up are GCN's tips on how to make the most of your form this autumn.
Fall.
Autumn.
Fall.
Oh, yeah, sorry, fall.
Cyclocross is great fun, I think, and personally I always found the change as good as a rest from a long, hard summer. To do it, you will need an off-road capable bike, be it a cyclocross bike like this one, a mountain bike if the events that you're choosing to ride will allow it, and many local ones do, or indeed, dare I say it, a road endurance type bike with disc brakes and enough clearance to fit knobbly tyres on. Now, when you do start racing, a cross event lasts between about 40 minutes to an hour. So if you're coming off a good summer of riding and racing, then actually the duration will be no problem to you. So instead, to convert that summer form to cross form, you need to concentrate on two things: short, sharp, intense efforts and your technique. Because when you actually do a cross race, although it might feel like one long, slightly sick-making interval, it's actually loads of short, super hard efforts interspersed with recovery that's so brief you might not even notice it, particularly if you're trying desperately to stay upright.
And this is exactly why micro intervals are a great way of getting yourself cyclocross ready. So try this session out. Head out for an hour. Within that hour, do an 8-minute interval where you're going flat out for 20 seconds and then recovering for 10 seconds, repeating until the 8 minutes is up. Start by getting 2 of those 8-minute intervals done within the hour and build up gradually to 3 or maybe even 4 as you adapt your road form to cyclocross form. Gotta do one.
Another great way of converting that form to cyclocross is to do longer sweet spot intervals. So you want to think on a 90-minute ride to do about 2 20-minute blocks at sweet spot. So that's about 90% of your FTP. Or if you don't have a heart rate monitor, sustainably hard would be a good description. But we're going to intersperse it with some real high intensity. So do a 10-second seated sprint every 2 minutes, just to get those legs working. And then as you build up and get used to it, maybe add in another block or even extend it to 2 30-minute ones, just to make sure you get that all-important 60 minutes in. Whew.
These 2 sessions should see you really sharpen up for cyclocross races. But as we said earlier, technique is as much a part of this discipline. So reserve a session or 2 each week for having some fun off-road. We've got a playlist here on GCN where we tried to teach Matt how to ride off-road, and we won't say he became an expert, but he certainly got better.
Things to practice include getting on and off your bike, clipping in, which is something admittedly Matt always struggled with, then attacking those short, sharp, steep climbs, be it either on the bike or off, and then getting used to handling your bike in the dirt. It's certainly quite different to riding on the road. But combine that technique practice with a little change in your training and you will be tearing up your local cyclocross races all fall or autumn, depending on which one you want to say.
Another, arguably even more brutal off-season discipline is that of hill climbs, which really do what they say on the tin, i.e. you ride from the bottom to the top of a climb as fast as you possibly can. Now they can span from anything from around 1 minute to 15 minutes in duration, depending on the length of the climb and also your own ability. As we said, they tend to be on the shorter side.
They do, so this means that with your summer form, you're going to need to focus solely on short, sharp intervals. So unfortunately, this means it's going to hurt, much like the hill climbs themselves in fact. But coming up are a couple of session ideas to help make it more bearable.
For session number 1, you want to warm up for a good 15 minutes whilst at the same time riding towards a local hill climb which is at least 2 minutes in duration. This session is not complicated. You simply ride the 2-minute climb as hard as you can 6 times with 5 to 6 minutes of rest between each one. It is important to take a decent rest between efforts on this session so that you're targeting the right system. Cool down for 10 minutes at the end and you're done.
Session 2 is more of a pyramid style affair. So again, get a good warm up, this time riding to a climb that is 3 minutes in duration. Your first interval is 30 seconds, flat out. Your next, 1 minute, then 90 seconds, and so on, adding 30 seconds to each interval until you've done a 3-minute interval. Then you reduce by 30 seconds until your last one is another 30-second interval. Now this totals up to 11 different intervals, and you want to have 3 to 4 minutes easy between each one, probably rolling back down the hill.
With either of these sessions, you shouldn't be afraid of spending quite a bit of the intervals out of the saddle like Si. After all, that is how you're going to get the most power out up a climb if it is short and steep. And actually, for some strange reason, Si and I have found it's our arms that need training more than our legs for hill climb season.
Now, aside from this, technique is less important with hill climbs than it is in cyclocross, but you could always spend a bit of time losing some weight from your bike, because every gram counts. You won't need that, mate.
Not litter though. Let's give it to our domestiques. Matt!
One of the most important parts of both of these disciplines is that you arrive at your chosen event fresh. So with that in mind, you should probably just kick back a little bit, enjoy yourself, spend a bit less time on the bike, focus on those specific intervals, maybe take a couple of easy days before an event so that you freshen up. And also, don't be afraid to maybe even take a week off your bike so that you can totally reset. Your summer form will carry you through a good couple of months, won't it?
Yeah, a lot of hill climbs, believe it or not, are won on the sofa, aren't they? You have to be really fresh for those short, sharp efforts. Now, as ever, we would love to hear how you get on at your chosen events, be they cyclocross or hill climbs. Let us know in the comment section down below. And also, if you're very experienced in either of those disciplines and you've got your own advice that you would like to give our viewers, please also leave that in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do so now by clicking on the globe. And if you'd like to see our introduction into the world of cyclocross with Matt Stevens, you can find that video by clicking just down here.
Yeah, and funnily enough, Dan, we've actually avoided making a video about hill climb events, so perhaps one for the to-do list, but nevertheless, we've got a video about how to improve at short, steep climbs, so exceedingly relevant. That one's just down there.